Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to reading for the week of April 17th. We are just going to jump right in here and see what is going on for you. You have this solitude card. It says retreating into your private world to find answers. And it also says not taking enough time for personal reflection, or you're taking too much. So maybe you need to balance out the amount of time that you spend on your own. But the card also says achieving great things will be hard and come with some lonely episodes. And I kind of do feel like you're achieving some great things. You have the Eight of Pentacles here and the Nine of Cups. I mean, really good cards of kind of achievement in getting the things that you want. So I do feel there's plenty of achievement here. I will say that all three water signs had something about solitude, literally. So in here you go, more solitude, Nine of Swords. So for some of you, it might be time to get out of the house, go do some, yes, Three of Cups, socialize. It might be time for you to socialize, get out, go meet new people, do things that you love to do, just so you can kind of get out of your head here. It's like, this to me looks like all work and no play. So, I feel maybe you need to balance the energies out of kind of, work and play and needing to take more time for yourself here with this card. I do feel like you're very focused on your finances, but I'm wondering if you're worrying a little bit too much about your finances. I know that there are a lot of reasons to worry about your finances right now, based off of what's going on in the world. And, I'm here to tell you that this is not going to stop anytime soon. We're going to see, bigger and probably worse things. And I don't say this to scare you. I say this because guess what? You have a choice. You can focus on it, and everyone can focus on it, probably making it worse, or we can choose to, I believe, change it by focusing on what we actually want. And, I believe that'll change it. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a card of fulfillment, so I do feel like some of you are kind of like focusing on your own fulfillment, which I do think is a good idea. Nine of Cups is like bathing in the energy of something that you want so that you can have more of it. So, I always say if you want love, you have to have love before you can have love. So the Nine of Cups says go bathe in the energy of love. Go love a dog. Go love a cat. Go love nature. Same thing with abundance. You have to go be around abundance before you can have abundance. And Nine of Cups is about kind of like really soaking it up and soaking up that type of energy. You have the Temperance card. So again, I feel like you have the power to turn your situation around. Again, I think we're going to see a lot of crazy financial stuff over the next 20 years at least. Well, probably, I would say, a good majority is going to happen over the next 10 years. So by 2033, I think we're going to see a lot of like major, changes to the financial system and things like that. I wouldn't even attempt to predict it, although I don't think it's going to be like as crazy as people think. Is it going to be crazy? Yes. But is it going to be like an all out, crazy ass, collapse or something? Probably not. Could it be a transition to a new system? Absolutely. But what I would say is I feel like you have the power right now to kind of turn your own situation around. And, Temperance is about turning you can turn a negative into a positive. You can also turn a positive into a negative with the Temperance card, but the choice is yours. So let's see where this is going. You have a solution in your second row as well, which we're going to talk about, but I'm looking for more solutions than just that. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Cups. Yes, Queen of Cups says work on things that your heart tell you to work on. Again, I keep telling people that like one of the remedies of Pluto and Aquarius is to follow your heart. It doesn't really have to, the astrology, this is like Chris's crappy astrology, right? But what I would say is that to me, if we follow our heart with Pluto and Aquarius, then we're probably going to be inspiring other people. And if we do that, then we're working with the Pluto and Aquarius energy, which naturally, if we do that, then we will become more successful. So that's why I keep saying this. And the Queen of Cups, she normally has that cup that doesn't even look like a cup. It looks like a trophy that she's holding out in front of her. So, to me, it kind of represents the fact that she's, it's like a trophy. It's like she really values her feelings. She values her feelings more than anyone else in the tarot. She really values how things make her feel as well, and she only does things that make her feel good. To me, if you do that, it's going to lead to this celebration right here. You also have divine counterparts, so if you're looking for love, definitely could be, there could be a water sign or any sign really, but just a divine counterpart coming in for you. With the Nine of Cups, yes, this is going to lead to victories. Again, bathing in the energy of what you want is going to lead to success and victories. I also feel like there could be wish fulfillment coming in for you, but you have to get out of this energy right here. And especially this. You have to turn this around. Again, I'm wondering if some of you, like during Mars and Gemini, which, was since last year, right? Let's basically say since, intuitively, I feel like it was since like October of last year. Maybe you went through a breakup or a separation or something that hurt you. Doesn't even have to be a breakup or separation, could be a job loss. But I feel like you went through something, and I feel that maybe you're still just a little bit stuck in that energy right here of being disappointed. And so, again, I feel like the Temperance card is encouraging you to, well, here you go. With the Temperance card, you have the Fool. I was going to say, I feel like it's encouraging you to have a new beginning, and here you go. This is literally the card of having a new beginning and taking a leap of faith. And how crazy is this? Your card in the area of the unexpected it says not big enough risks. And look at what this person is doing. They're like taking a leap off of a cliff. So I feel like you need to take some bigger risks here. It says taking small risks, but not big enough to make a big impact on your success. Small risks require almost as much effort as the big ones, but they're not quite as rewarding. Taking a bigger risk and see what rewards might come out of the courageous decision. Yeah, I definitely feel you have to take some bigger risks at this time. I will tell you that going this way, Six of Swords, this woman and this child in the boat on the Six of Swords, they are taking a very big risk. They're taking nothing with them across these choppy waters to get to the other side. They only have the clothing on their back. So, it kind of represents the fact that they're having a complete fresh start. This could be in any area of your life, but look at this. This is what your fresh start is right here. Probably everything you want. 10 of Pentacles, right? The Four of Cups could be like past disappointment. So, I feel like for some of you, you've maybe been through a period of disappointments. But I also feel like it's time for you to change your story because, going here with the Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare. And, but we have the power to change the Nine of Swords. And we'll talk about that in a minute. You have the Five of Cups. So the solution to the Five of Cups is to be grateful for what you do have. When he turns around, he sees these two cups, but he also gets this bridge and the castle as well. So he doesn't just get two cups. But the whole entire story of the Five of Cups is that he's sick and tired of his story. He has lost his taste for wine. So he's grieving the loss of something that he once enjoyed. He doesn't even enjoy his story any longer. He's trying to change it. And I always say, when you change your story, you change your life. And so I would encourage a lot of you to, work on changing your story. A lot of people ask me, Chris, how do I change my story? I'm like, well, literally, you can literally write it down. Literally, scripting every single day, right? Scripting changed my life, whether I don't care if it's law of attraction or not. To me, it worked. It changed my brain. So I still do it every single day. So, that's what I would be doing here is like scripting or literally changing the words that you use on yourself, like all that stuff. Meditation is a great one as well, and kind of like visualizing what you want. I would definitely do that. You have this Justice card. Part of me does feel that you could be seeing someone getting their karma, and I kind of feel like that helps a little bit. I don't think we should wish for people to get karma. As a matter of fact, I think if we focus on a person getting karma, they don't get their karma because basically you're telling the universe, I don't trust you, right? So, again, I think that the worst, I always tell people, the worst thing you can do if someone did you dirty is to hope that they get karma or to watch and look and try to see them get their karma because then they'll never get their karma. You'll never see it, right? So you just have to let it go. But what I will say is intuitively going this way, someone who broke your heart, you could be seeing them get their karma, and I feel like maybe it is motivating you a little bit. Maybe you're kind of saying to yourself, you know what, the universe does have my back. It kind of gives you that type of feeling, so I definitely get that. I feel like you maybe dealt with a person who thought the grass was greener on the other side, but I really feel like you were dealing with a person who probably has Gemini in their chart, and I feel like even if they're not a Gemini, that you were dealing with, if they have Gemini in their chart, I really feel it's a person who is very indecisive is what I'm getting on your next row, and I feel like they can't make a decision to save their life. So there you go. With the Four of Cups, I feel like this was a blessing in disguise. Star card. Star comes up after the Tower, and it can represent healing from a Tower moment, but you can also represent kind of getting a wish or wish fulfillment. So again, I feel like you had a Tower moment with a person who thought the grass is greener and it wasn't, but now you're moving on. With the Five of Cups, you have the King of Swords. This is a very mature energy. If you are looking for love, I feel like you are trying to attract something very kind of mature or very much more like the King of Swords. Mature, has a lot of wisdom, things like that. But the other thing I would say is that this right here is Law and Order. The King of Swords is the card of Law and Order, and you have the Justice card. So if you're dealing with something legal, by the way, this could be Law and Order. It could also be the fact that, again, you could be kind of getting some sort of cosmic justice here is kind of what I feel. With the Justice card, yes, you have the Devil. So exactly like I said, someone who broke your heart, a toxic person. I definitely feel you could be seeing them get their karma. And, the other thing is like, I'm wondering if you're just getting good karma. It's like it's almost like as if this reading is saying you're getting the opposite of what that person was, so maybe you went through it with a person and now you're getting the opposite. So that's like the other thing that's popping into my head. Next in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this Gemini season card. It says the answers you are seeking are coming. It says indecisive, expression, duality, stay flexible in your approach. Yes, since the last set of eclipses, that I've been saying to people, I said when we had that last eclipse in Taurus last year, I said between now and April, which we're in April, we need to be as flexible as we possibly can be. It's like if you set out to do anything in your life, then just have the big goal, right? Have whatever you're trying to accomplish, focus on it, but don't be too consumed by like how you get it, whatever your big goal is, right? It's like, I think that people need to stay more open, more aware, more willing to make changes or to move in different directions to get the things that they want. And that's kind of like what I feel like this is saying. Again, I definitely feel you are dealing with an indecisive person. For a small percentage of you, I don't think it was you. I think it's a person that you're attracting. So again, if you meet a new person, if they start acting weird, number one, I would communicate with them, of course. I think we're in a time of communication. I'm telling you right now, if you're getting in a relationship over the next few years, communicate, because I know that's a very obvious relationship advice, but again, there's just like too much weird stuff in relationships in the astrology. I think relationships are actually going to be better than ever, but I think we need to communicate more than ever. So communicate, but I think what this person will tell you is that they dealt with a very indecisive person. So if they feel like you're being indecisive or anything, that might kind of freak them out. Or again, this could be you. So maybe you need to communicate with a person who's like that. You have the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Three of Cups. Again, I kind of feel like you're leaving this behind. I feel like you're leaving behind the Nine of Swords by changing your story. Again, Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare, so there's like some sort of change that has to happen. It looks like it is happening, though, because we go to the Ten of Pentacles. So I want to clarify this, but you do have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is temporary, can be a heartbreak. You definitely went through a heartbreak. Whether it doesn't matter if this was a relationship or like something else. Could be like a health issue, a job loss, it could be anything like that. And, I feel like a lot of you are healing because you have the Star, but I still feel a little bit of like a need to forgive the past. I think once you forgive, then you'll actually move on towards something better. And you have the Three Cups, definitely some sort of celebration. I feel like you could be meeting a person through like a group of people. So if you're looking for love, I would definitely get out there and meet new people. I also feel even outside of love, there's like a lot of support for you in general right now. I kind of also am getting that if you are trying to build something, you end with the Ten of Pentacles, which Ten of Pentacles can be like building or leaving a legacy. So if you're trying to build a business, or if you're trying to become an expert or an authority figure, like in business, or maybe on YouTube, or maybe you want to write a book or something like that. I don't know. It's popping into my head. I feel like there are going to be people coming out of the woodwork to like support you, to help you grow, and like all that other stuff. So I don't know, someone needs to hear that. I feel like someone out there like wants to become like a recognized expert or something along those lines, and I feel like now is the time is what this is saying. It's like saying that the people, like everybody, everything is in line. It's like the people, the places, things, everything's ready to go. You just have to get started. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Hierophant. Hierophant is like a commitment, but I really feel this is like divine guidance. The Hierophant is the bridge between the heavens and the earth. And, I feel like what you're going to start realizing is that whatever you went through, it's almost like you had to go through it so that you could be ready for whatever this is right here. For a lot of you, I feel like it's a person. And I feel like they went through it as well. Like I said, I feel like I've been saying to you, Scorpio, that it's almost like you're attracting a person who's been through something very similar to you. So I feel like that could be a clue of who this person is. Could be an earth sign, by the way. You have a lot of earth standing out to me, Aquarius, water, could be anything, but I feel like they went through something very similar. And I feel like you're seeing how you had to go through it because of that. With the Three of Pentacles, what do you know? You have the Ten of Pentacles. Definitely, this is what's waiting for you on the other side of forgiveness. I literally feel like the second you forgive a past person or forgive a past situation, could be a past boss for firing you or maybe some other weird situation. It's like the second you do that, this is going to be the second you get your Ten of Pentacles. With the Three of Cups, you have the Tower. We talked about having, like, I knew the Tower was going to come up in your reading. Like, how many, I can't remember the last reading that I've done for you, Scorpio, where the Tower hasn't come up. So you get the Tower all the time. As I've been saying, there are going to be a shit ton of global Tower moments over the next few years, 10 years at least. And but also, I kind of feel like this is saying, don't be afraid to change your story. The Tower gets reduced down to its foundation, so that because the people inside the Tower have been ignoring reality. But you go to the Six of Swords here, which tells me, this could be like a fresh start that you're getting. The Tower can represent like a revelation. That lightning bolt striking the top of the Tower can represent like a light bulb moment. And so some of you could be understanding now that maybe you went through something uncomfortable, but it's like you understand that you have to have a fresh start with that Six of Swords. And whatever, again, whatever you want, in whatever area of your life you want, it's like you understand this now. You have this in the area of the good stuff. Whatever shows up here, it's gonna be good no matter what. You have this I can't talk today. Unrevealed secrets. What is happening on the surface is not what you'll see if you dive deeper. King of Cups literally says dive deep, go deep. He is sitting in the middle of the ocean. So I feel for a lot of you, this is saying like, explore opportunities that come your way. Like, go deep. Don't just scratch the surface. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Six of Swords. So again, the King of Cups could be a person, but after reading that card, I would say that it could be your emotions, needing to explore your emotions. There's a boat right here on the King of Cups, and that boat represents a time where we used to get on boats and we wouldn't know where we were going, like our great ancestors, right? And so it kind of represents the unknown. And I feel like for a lot of you, there could be something that is unknown, like a new opportunity. You don't know the details, a new person. You don't know the details, but it's like once you dive deep, I feel like you're going to find the Ten of Pentacles, like everything you want. But right now, you might not be taking big enough risks. You might be, stuck on the surface, basically. And even the Ten of Pentacles, to me, can represent hidden or secret information. There's two ways to read this card. You can read this card as like an inheritance. This guy here, the old guy, he can represent like the patriarch of the family, and he is the one that has the inheritance, that's giving things down, passing things down. There's another way to read it, that he is a beggar. He has come to bring this family a gift. This family has just had a child. So it can represent like a new beginning, something new, a baby, right? It's not saying that you're having a baby, although you could be. And it's saying that you're having something new, and there are things that you don't know about that you have to learn to make something extremely successful. And this is not mystery, by the way. It's not like something mysterious. It just says, like, if you're starting a business, make sure you learn about it. Make sure you learn the ins and outs. It's like, I've worked in business since I was 16 years old. I had my first business, a fish tank cleaning business, when I was 16, and it was an actual business, believe it or not. And, as someone who's worked with a lot of businesses as well, I just see it all the time where people they start something and they kind of get lucky. They make a little bit of money, but they don't know the ins and outs. They don't know how to keep it going, or they just don't pay attention. I've talked about this a lot over the past few years. I think these next several years, we need to really be paying attention to what works. We need to make sure to double down on what works. But learning is going to be very successful for you. You have the King of Cups, definitely could be attracting this person again, like I said. So I do feel that could be love as well. And then you have the Six of Swords. Again, this is a card of trust. They're trusting that they're being guided. This guy back here, he represents a guide, and they're trusting that they're being guided across the choppy waters, and they're just trusting that things are going to be better on the other side. But they're having that new beginning, and I get that feeling here. There's something here about completely starting over, and I'm not suggesting that you're completely starting over. I don't think we ever truly completely start over. Of course, we're starting from a place of wisdom. So it's like if you're getting into a new relationship, you've learned a lot. Maybe it feels like you're starting over, but it's like, no, you've actually learned. Same thing in all other areas of your life. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. Yes, good news. This is the good stuff. So again, I feel like you're ending a never-ending nightmare. With the King of Cups, you have the Seven of Wands. I would open up here, again, if you're interested in a person. I feel like I say this to you all the time. that you are like interested in a friend or someone you work with or something, I would just open up here. Seven of Wands is like being too closed off, even though it's showing up in the good stuff. The other thing I would say is that, again, can represent your emotions. This is a card of conviction. It's a card of believing something, feeling something so deeply that you make it happen, whatever it is, like whatever goal, wish, or dream that you have. It's like an energy of making things happen. And that's exactly what I'd be doing here if I were you. Is believing. With the Six of Swords, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yes, what are you waiting for? Knight of Pentacles is being too cautious. I feel like it's time for you to make some moves here, Scorpio. Even with the Tower here, I would say this is a pretty good reading. I feel like you're going to start taking some bigger risks. And that's the thing that's probably going to lead to a lot of success. But let's see. We're going to pull 5 main themes. You have this Resistance card. Yeah, basically the next 10 years, I think we're going to be feeling a lot of resistance. I keep encouraging people to read The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, because in that book, he talks a lot about resistance. And he always says that when we're closest to becoming successful, that's when we feel the most resistance. So, I feel like a lot of people, there's like a lot of success just waiting for us, but we have to like push through the resistance. You have this Control card. It's kind of like the World card, so it actually represents like an achievement. Could be a Capricorn coming in for you as well, or a person with a lot of Capricorn in their chart. You have the Devil, this card as well. But I also feel there's just some like achievements. Next, you have this Inspiration card. We are in a time of inspiration. I say it all the time. You have the Star card, which is kind of like inspiration. And so I keep telling people that we need to move towards our inspirations. Like if something excites you, makes you feel enthusiastic, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be like a hobby, a business you want to start. It could be a movie you want to watch. I don't care what it is. I would be living by your inspirations, and I would also be changing your story. Again, like, there's so many great teachers. Like Bruce Lipton, for example, says like 95% of our day is lived automatically. We just have automatic software installed in our brains that lives our life for us. And, personally, I look at Pluto and Aquarius as needing to change our story as well. It's like a little part of it. And I think that those 95% things are things that we should be changing over the next like 20 years. We don't have to become a different person, and I don't think we have to do anything, by the way. I always sometimes people leave me comments like, I'm not telling you what to do. You can do whatever you want. I don't think tarot should tell you what to do either. I think that it's loose guidance at best. But what I'm saying is what I'm doing, right? And what has made me successful is not allowing my brain to live my life for me, and of course, we have these software programs for a reason. It makes our life easier, so we don't have to think about like beating our heart, for example. Like, thank God, right? That would be a big deal. But some other things just don't serve us. And, again, some of you need to follow your inspirations. You have this Extremism card. I would be super careful of extremism over the next rest of your life, basically. We have Neptune leaving Pisces in 2026, and it's moving into Aries, which is like extremism. Again, I keep telling people I'm not like worried about it, but I am thinking about it. The fact that Neptune and Pisces, people could be looking for a savior. It's like there could be things that happen and people just like, look for a person who's like, oh, I'll save you, right? You just have to do X, Y, and Z, right? So I would be careful. No gurus at this time, right? I always tell people, be your own guru. Learn from yourself. And finally, you have this Convention card. I feel like this is what you're breaking free from, is convention, like your story, the way things always used to be. So you could be changing your story, doing new things. And, that's what I'll say there. I also feel like if you're interested in a person, especially if it's an earth sign, I feel like you don't realize how different they are. I kind of get that feeling where it's like they're not conventional, So, if you want love, I would say go for it. But this looks pretty good here, Scorpio. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.